Discretion is advised.
Happy Monday, you are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 128 and we are in patch 7.0.3. Tonight we're going to be talking about PTR updates, the EU Arena Championships. Get out all your crayons because we're going to be coloring this and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the PWNCAST Vanguard. The wolves whose howl can signal death's coming, Lycan. Snap back and get faster for the pet battle Grandmaster, Gemma Banks. He's sharp as a dagger with that dapper swagger, Secret Sauce. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
Welcome back. Once again, it's that time where it's just you and I don't have to share you with these fine gentlemen sharing this little box grid with me. I kind of like these moments because I feel like you and I, all of you listening and watching, really, really get to connect and just be on a deep spiritual level, right? You know, we just get to be one with each other. I made it a little weird, so I guess I will unmute them now.
Bonfire.
No.
All right, someone set down a campfire singing Kumbaya.
No.
So in case you guys did not notice, there is somebody who is back, which we will get to that.
I missed you.
We will... Lame. We will get to that here in a moment, but we are down Lycan today. He's very under the weather and hoping to see him back next week, but thoughts and prayers because he's a little sick. So
tell them the truth.
Hopefully, really, he just stayed up all night gaming and was too tired. Really, just kidding.
Yes.
But yeah,
he has massive diarrhea.
He's really, really ill. So sending good vibes, and hopefully we will see him back next week. It was really hard for him to not be here. I actually had to force him to not. So with that being said, I'm sure you guys all see a very, very familiar, very unbrushed hair face.
At least I'm shaved.
We don't know what his main's going to be because he keeps swapping. So for now, he's just going to be the guy that hung up his pro hat for World of Warcraft. Welcome back, Hots for Shots.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a fun ride while it lasted, but with the ending of Colorado Clutch, I was just like, I'd prefer to play a while.
Yeah.
Stability. He left the wife for the secretary and then realized that the secretary was not what he wanted. He wanted to go back to the good old wife.
Sounds like
she never is.
I know, she never is.
But this makes Belle feel better too, because even before Legion and the other expansions, it's like everyone who's quitting, you'll be back.
It's true.
True.
That's true, but I never really had intentions of leaving WoW. It was just I had no time to play a WoW, so...
I know
that.
You know,
I'm no Bill Clinton to Monica Lewinsky. I can't,
So there wasn't a cigar then? There was no...
It wasn't.
No cigar.
There was no cigar.
I didn't inhale, I promise.
Oh.
Yeah.
So no cigars and no inhaling. Got it.
It was more of I went on a long-distance trip and needed a long-distance relationship. Filler kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
For those of you who are new to PWNCAST, because we've had quite a few of you over the last couple of months, Hots is one of the original members, and he did go to be an Overwatch pro player, which he did really, really well, and went and seen things and did things and lived the life.
Things.
Yeah, lived the life for a while, and now he's
came back to reality.
Yeah, came back to, oh, well, this is more fun.
His dismay is my gain, so I'm happy about it.
Yeah, welcome back. I was very excited to hear you.
I said I really want to be sad for you, but I'm so happy I don't even care. But I did also, unfortunately, with that awful hat, I did bring the monk who is getting his Chi-Chi of Gigi on in PvP. I didn't write this. This was his dude. Gemma
You're
Banks.
supposed to proofread it.
What does that even mean?
I know. I'm getting my Chi-Chi on. GG, like good game too. I know I didn't write it as GG. I just freestyled.
So I didn't understand.
I know I didn't even understand too. I was just so happy I was in the zone and I've been PvPing on the monk. And I just love the way it heals. Unless there's 2 melee on me, then it really hurts. But I'm starting to come into my own as the Mistweaver monk. So I'm just having a blast and get my chi on, I guess.
So you hit
There you
puberty
go.
then, you
Gino
would say.
Ree.
You hit puberty.
Pardon?
Did you hit puberty then?
You could say I'm becoming a man on the Alliance side finally. You know, I did struggle, and you've heard me flip flop. I don't know what my main. I'm really finally coming into my own as a monk. So I'm having fun.
Nice.
That's good.
I did also bring the priest who got detoxed by Gemma Banks, and he lives. Secret sauce.
Yes. Better than last week, but still kind of sick. So it's something to deal with. But yeah, I'm good. I'm here. I'm happy.
I'm the
So
only
wait
one
for
not
that
wearing a
detox
hat.
out. Oh, want me to take mine off?
No, I don't care.
want that
No.
mullet hair.
I know I gave you one.
Whenever I can't wear it anymore, it means nothing. I have to turn it inside out.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
That's true. That's true.
Just kidding. I would never do that. Oh, I think it's over there. I'm
It's
not
already
sure.
turned inside out already.
We
Yeah.
donated it to charity.
Last time everybody was wearing a hat, somebody commented and was like, "What's up with everybody wearing hats?" And I'm like, "I don't know. They just like to wear hats. I don't want to hide this beautiful hair, right?"
They just made the playoffs.
That does
so
look good, yeah.
Kinda,
I'm only
kinda gotta
wearing
do
a
it.
hat because I didn't want to go brush my hair. So
And it was a
Go Blue Jays.
It was a hot.
Your hair is lovely.
Your hair is lovely. So we have some PTR updates, but I want to talk about the EU Championships. There's a couple things that are important. If you watch the EU Championships and you have an EU account, hopefully you did the things and you linked your Twitch with your Battle.net so that you could get the title Patron of War. Now, if you are if you're Alliance, whoops. If you are not EU, everybody else, so US and all that, if you still need to link your Twitch and your Battle.net, and this next week, which I think it's the 8th and the 9th of October, will be the US Arena Finals for PvP. Watch those, link it, you'll get the title Patron of War. I thought that was pretty legit. Clearly
cool.
they're trying to get people to do the whole Twitch thing, and I think that's awesome because they want more views, so what better way to get more views than to buy them? So
Exactly.
hats off.
This is why I watch this show.
Right, and
I
I
never
want the
know these
title,
things.
so I'm super excited about it. But I want to talk about the EU tournament. Now, I watched it, I cast it to my big screen, and first of all, obviously I'm Team Method. Whether it's EU or US, Bell's Team Method, total fanboy, the whole nine. But I got to tell you, Northern Gaming, man, these guys are coming out of nowhere, and they are just slaughtering in all things esports. Literally, they are just coming out of nowhere. So they did give Method a little bit of a run for their money, but they did. Northern Gaming Blue actually took the championship for that qualifier. So obviously they're moving on to BlizzCon, and then TY was in second place, and the third place was Method. So good. The thing I love about EU, and I think I've said this before, is if you've never watched the difference between EU versus US, it feels like the level of competition is slightly higher. And I'm not saying US has bad players. I'm just saying it seems like the way that EU plays, they're just on a whole different level.
It's because they get the game a week in advance.
But I really just think I think they just, for some reason, they push themselves, and they're, I mean, literally, the last battle with Method, I literally was on the seat of the freaking bed, and I was just.
She's so intense.
I was
when she
literally
watches.
You're on the edge of the bed.
sweating bullets. I was just literally enjoying the watch. So if you guys have never, even if you don't like PvP, if you've never watched the arena tournament, I definitely encourage you guys to check out the US one.
I wanted to watch them,
So
but I was
good.
at work, and I
know.
couldn't.
We know.
Can't you put that on a computer monitor or listen?
Yeah.
Or
I'm only at the monitor for 10 seconds.
can't you have it on your phone and listen with earbuds? No, it's a lot. That's
I don't have-
Just
think
get your
my-
title and then watch the show next week, and Belle will tell
Pretty
us
much.
what happened.
Yeah.
So those guys are going to BlizzCon, which is super exciting, and then you have the US the 8th and the 9th. So make sure you guys keep a lookout for that, because that's serious, and it's my favorite part of BlizzCon, and I'm so excited to watch it again
I
live.
hope we know where she's going to lose her voice at.
No, listen, last year I was literally, I think, Gemma, you might have even been sitting with me
can't talk.
for part
Yeah.
of that. I was so intense.
With HOTS
Yeah.
too, yeah.
It was just amazing. So make sure you guys, at least, if nothing else, link and give it a watch and get your Patron of War title, because it's a nice little thing to have.
So many people are gonna do it.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
a lot of people are definitely
Well, it's
gonna
a
do
lot
it.
of people are probably upset that they missed out on the replica gear,
Right,
from the movie.
right.
So, I mean, it's like anything that kind of gets taken away, like old titles,
It's super sad.
challenge mode stuff. You see people with the hand of a die. Is that what it is? A doll?
Kind of a doll, yeah.
Yeah, like I just missed out on it by like that much.
That's why
Yeah.
you
I missed
cannot
out
stop
on the
playing
Black
the game.
Proto Drake by 2 achievements.
That's what I'm
So-
saying. So
Oh.
like,
Really?
I mean, it is
Guess
what it is.
that's
but
bad?
It's still a bummer.
I didn't log in for the 5th anniversary and didn't get the Onyxia Whelpling. I was active. That's the last pet I'll ever miss. I was so mad.
Kind of embarrassing, actually. To that end, along with the pro scene, we had the Mythic race, right? Everybody, the first week, Mythic's out for a new tier. You have the great American, non-American, all-world, international race for first world clear. Now, it was neck and neck for a little bit, and I was a little unsure as to who was going to be the winner, but Exorcius did clear first. And then Method was right there. They were so close. They did come in second, and then Serenity came in third. But
Serenity now.
I'm just saying, like, it's another reason I love Method, because they're just doing all the things and stuff.
I call shenanigans because the US would have had that if it wasn't bugged on the US side. They couldn't
See?
go to the portal to get to Cenarius.
Well,
Oh, that's
valid,
kinda
because there was no U.S. teams that cleared in the top 3, so that it could be.
They were Midwinter and one other were ahead of everybody.
Well, Midwinter ended up taking U.S. first. Yes,
Yeah,
I thought so.
but it was bugged because they couldn't go to the 6th boss in there, and so as whenever EU dropped, they beat them because they could go through the portal.
Flashback to when Hots met the Guildmaster and raid leader for
I heard about that.
Midwinter, and his voice was all high and shaky. It was pretty funny. It was
Nice to meet you.
If I would have had the video
Hi.
camera at that point, it would have just been amazing. They know how to throw a party. Midwinter does. They really
I
know how to
bet.
get down. Yeah, and we were there for the end of it. But yeah, so
I mean, that's kind of a shame too. Like, I mean, from like what Hots is saying, that's kind of a bummer.
It's kind of.
Oh, that would drive you nuts if you were that good to fight for the title and you just have to remember.
Hey, we've cleared all 5, and hey, what the hell?
We're
I'm kinda
ahead
sad.
of everybody by like 2 bosses, and then
How long were they locked for?
Until
like-
the next day.
Oh, that's big. Like an hour, 24 hours. It's kind of rough. So
Yeah.
I thought
Oh,
my
well.
boys over at Limit were going to pull through with some stuff. I mean, they didn't do too bad, but I mean, they came in 10th overall in the whole world. So
it's still gnarly. I
Limit's
mean,
another
regardless.
favorite of mine. Yeah, I think it's crappy, but I think it's really. I think Exorcius. I don't remember what we saw of them last expansion, but
I don't even remember that name.
I know
They're the ones who made Exorcist raid tools.
Well, and I know Serenity. Didn't
I know
they
that name.
split?
That's the one from Method, yeah, and that's
They
why
split,
Skill was
right?
like, "Hey, Serenity, need a hand?" and then linked the.
Okay, yeah, I got it. I thought so. I remember that, and I met the gentleman who started Serenity, Baldhead Sloot, maybe? Question mark. I'm not 100% sure if I'm getting my.
Is that his name or the
I'm pretty
description
sure
of
it's
what he
Sloot.
looks like?
I'm pretty sure Sloot is his name. I think he's the one that branched off and they went and did the thing. But Method, just on anything they do, is just amazing. Anyway, their gaming is just on a different level, and that organization is just grown by leaps and bounds. And it's not just because I love them that I'm saying that. They're everywhere.
No, it's fact.
You
so.
see Method in
Yeah.
all avenues of anything Blizzard related. So
Yeah,
it's
I'll say
nice.
they have made a really big name for themselves from what I understand, based off of WoW. Like,
Yeah,
it's the only
he
org
started
that's
SCO.
huge.
They started as a raid team, and that's where their bread and butter came from, and how they came to be, who they are. And then the organization, just phenomenal people, and honestly, some of the nicest people I've ever met in real life too. Which is, it's nice to see people at the top. And SCO's got a
Yeah.
super smoking hot girlfriend. Man,
She's pretty cute.
no, she's not cute. Literally, she is smoking. I stood next to her in the espresso
banging?
line. Yeah, I stood next to her in the espresso line last year, and I felt so inadequate standing next to her because she is just smoking. Like, I was stuttering. Literally, I could not even handle standing next to her, and I felt
Her
literally
voice
like
is cracking talking to her, and Cody's is
nothing
cracking
makes you
talking to
feel
her.
inadequate and not a woman, like standing next to what I'm pretty sure is the hottest fucking woman on the planet. But and
Damn.
she's super nice too. But
Shit.
god dang, is she good looking? Anyway,
I think it's the accent that does it for me.
no, it's just I didn't even hear her talk. It was like a vision, and I was just like, I'm not even gay, but I might be if you want to go on
Damn.
a date. That
I'll
is how
dark that.
hot she
See what he
is.
says.
Yeah, that's how hot she is. Made me question my sexuality there. So, good for the. I like to see WoW in any type of competition. So I like the PvP competition. I like the raiding competition. I like to see that because I think that that's what continuously keeps WoW relevant. So I'm happy to see the teams that are doing big things, and they're breaking records. They're changing the way we play, and I think that that's nice. So I don't want to be any of them, but I can appreciate that. So
Absolutely. I
Now,
appreciate you.
guys,
Bell.
crayons. Do you have?
Yeah, tell
them?
me about these.
'Cause
Crayons?
you're gonna need crayons, guys. And
For
I like
what?
colored pencils.
Well, and that's the
pens.
age-old debate, right? Crayons, colored pencils, or markers, which is better? Then you have the
Prismacolor.
pastel. What are they called? It's like
Watercolors?
is it watercolors?
Pastel, wet, watercolors.
But it's like your class,
Paint,
really. It's
I
what
mean-
works best for you. What can you shade better with? You know, what can
Valid.
you...
Pencils.
I like pencil crayons.
I can't color inside the lines to save my life.
I'm
so
not surprised.
So there's Blizzard is releasing an official World of Warcraft coloring book.
Sweet.
What I like about that is, once again, we're bridging two gaps here. We're introducing our younger generation into the game that we play. They did that with the Time Traveler book, and it's going to end up being a series. Like, it's just, I feel like at this point they're doing everything. Like, Blizzard literally has their hands. The only thing they don't have is a taco named after themselves. Like, they've literally...
Not yet.
They don't have a fighting game yet, which surprises me. Like a Mortal Kombat-esque style fighter.
That'd be fun, but that's kind of those
That's
styles
basically-
are like
that's
dead,
gonna
aren't
be
they?
like HOTS.
I don't know that they're necessarily obsolete.
They are nowhere near dead.
I
One of the
think it's-
biggest gaming conventions is for fighting games.
Interesting.
Really?
I wonder if they plan on tapping that market. I knew I missed you for a reason because I never would have
Yeah.
thought of that.
I used to think I was so good at
Actually,
those games until
I
the
thought of that
internet
at
showed up.
BlizzCon last year whenever they announced Overwatch. I was like, they have a shooter, they have a MOBA, they have a grinder, they have WoW, which is an MMO. And I was like, they don't have a fighter.
They have a card
and
game.
that's the only Hearthstone, yeah. So it's like,
Interesting.
I mean, they could break into it and just do like the Heroes of the Storm-esque theme and just bring big heroes into it to
Well, they
fight.
could do Blizzard Heroes and like. Well, I guess that's pretty much Heroes of the Storm, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I was like,
I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys are watching, give it a comment. Tell me what you guys would think about a fighting game and how you see that playing out. I'm interested to hear your guys' opinions. I think that would be really neat.
I think it'd be more neat if it was a PWNCAST one, and it would be like
Me
Hots
punching
versus
you.
secret sauce. Yeah. Get over here.
I'll,
Mm-hmm.
I'll start
Ooh,
working on that
I like
app.
that.
And
So the coloring book, you can pre-order it on Amazon. It's out December 16th. It's only like $9. If you have Prime, you get free shipping. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. And it doesn't have to be for your children. Get your crayons out, guys. Have a nice therapeutic day of coloring World of Warcraft art. This is basically what it is. It's concept art, and it's beautiful.
you can color it and sell it at Con Before the Storm.
Right.
And hang
Sure
it on
could.
the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna sell mine. I'm gonna go pro. That's what's gonna happen now.
I'll buy one.
I'm gonna
Been there,
make
done
an
that,
Etsy
wouldn't
shop.
suggest it.
I'm gonna make an Etsy shop, and I'm gonna color everything the wrong color because that's how I colored as a child. My Christmas tree was never green. It was purple.
Well, at least that's kind of boring. Yeah, purple's.
it
I
was-
mean, I find that ironic considering how, like, strict you are with your trees. We spent, like, a good 3 hours looking
No,
for...
I'm not strict.
a-
You just
a good-
the tree has to find you, right? You stand in the middle of the tree lot and you wait for the tree spirit to just find you, so you know the right. And it was really funny because him and my husband were just staring at me, and the guy that works there was like, "What about this one?" I was like, "No, that tree's not. It's not speaking to me." They were all just looking at me like, I was, "Yeah, I'm special." I
They
know.
probably just
I'm
like
the
went
true
and sat in the
advancer.
car. Yeah.
My husband's
just
like,
like-
"Oh, she left her helmet at home." Like,
I just picture like Hots and Dark giving up and be like, "Well, we'll be in the car. Tell us when you found
that's
it."
pretty
Like,
much how it went. Actually, that's almost exactly how it went.
It was cold, dude.
How funny. So yeah, get your coloring book, pre-order it. It's only $9, so it's not a million. Buy a couple of them, give them out to family. The holiday season's coming. Take advantage of your gamer friends and loved ones and buy stuff. Buy the book. The Chronicles will be out in March, I think,
Yep.
of 2017,
Yes.
the second Chronicles. So pre-order that on Amazon and get your Get your books on and stuff.
I almost reserved it at Barnes and Nobles like a month ago, but then they're like, "Yeah, it comes out in March." I was like, "I can wait."
Yeah,
It's not
I'll
going
probably
anywhere.
do it sometime in January. I waited till literally the last minute for the first volume, and I barely made it in before they were like, "Oh, we don't have any more pre-copies available." And I was like, "Oh, alrighty then. I'm glad I was on top of my job." So
Mhm.
the last thing is PTR. Now, PTR, they released Karazhan to be playable, which actually after the show recording tonight, I will be going in with some friends of mine to get a full video of Karazhan. So be looking for that up on the YouTube channel probably tomorrow if I can get in there with people with PTR, which I might enlist Secret Sauce because I think we might need, I don't know what we might need, but I'm going to be going in there and doing a whole video of it because there's a lot of, we talked about this probably a couple episodes ago, the unique features of the upside down room.
Yeah, it sounded cool.
Just different ways that they've added to it. So for PTR, that was the number one focus, is basically you get the kind of the history of it. And of course, we had theory crafting on who Master was. Now we're pretty sure it's still, I mean, I haven't been in the raid yet, but there's a lot of Medivh talk. So naturally, that's going to be that was the Master that, what's his name? What, Morose? Was that his
Yeah.
his, not partner, but like his assistant?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine he like fluffed
His
his
homie.
robe and trimmed his beard. I don't really know if that was his official role
Fluffed.
in Karazhan, but I feel like that's kind of what he did. But a whole
He
slew.
was the entertainer.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
He
He
was
was
like
in the dining hall.
Mr. Belvedere.
oh. Karazhan's gonna be 850 gear. There's relics that'll drop. Lots of good gear dropping from it. But
Yep.
that and some of the like spell changes and stuff in PTR. Nothing really huge to really talk about outside of Karazhan is playable. So if you want to go in and check it out yourself,
Karazhan's gonna be beautiful.
yeah. And the entrance to Karazhan is
Excited.
up halfway through, so you have to fly up and then go on a little bridge, and you'll have to kill. There'll be like, sometimes there's mobs, sometimes it depends on if somebody else was there, and then you have to summon. Everybody will have to fly.
There's 3 different entrances to Karazhan.
Oh, I only went in the one.
So there's the front door, there's the back door, and there's one that's been in the game but has never been accessible. And it was around whenever Kara first dropped, but you had to have a flying mount to get up there unless you bugged it.
That's the one you're
And-
going to now. Is this the one
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
center? I don't go through anybody's back door because that's just weird. So I've never been in a back door.
Have you been in the catacombs since they've
I don't
redid
think so.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
It's so gnarly down there, dude. Oh
Yeah.
my god. do
I
it.
don't think I've ever been in there.
Do it, Belle.
I need to go
Yeah,
check
go.
that out.
You'll see it. So where the front door is at, like if you're facing the door,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a little pathway that kind of leads you down, and you'll see the opening. And it's huge, actually. Like it's a lot bigger than what I anticipated. And right when you walk in, it says, the catacombs, and you just walk through it, and you see all this gnarly stuff. So it's actually really neat that they put that in there.
Like
artifact
severed
quests on
heads,
there.
or like.
No, like just stuff, like neat stuff that that you've seen in the game already, and
Oh,
stuff that
okay,
you might
cool.
not have seen. So it's actually really, really neat. So I was actually kind of
Now,
impressed.
I
that they
thought
put
I remember previously something about the catacombs not being accessible to players unless they bug through the wall. Is that what you're
that's like
talking
a
about?
lot of old stuff.
That was older, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like, that was just people glitching.
Because
to
I
get
remember
down.
somebody did a YouTube video on it where they were like, "Let me show you this cool glitch," and then you end up in the catacombs and you see all this creepy stuff.
Well, that's how it was in Ironforge too. How you
Oh,
could
okay.
go see old Ironforge before, and now they actually
You
made that
can
accessible.
still get into Old Nax Ramus. I mean,
Interesting.
and it's not even there anymore.
There's so much new content that I haven't done any of the mount farming. I haven't done any of that stuff because I just
Oh my
simply
God.
I don't have the time
There's
to get in there and do it.
so
I'm
shit
on
yeah,
a one site focus, and that's Suramar, so I don't. Yeah, it's been kind of rough. But that's pretty much the news. Now, for those of you that are interested in BlizzCon things, we're probably looking at a band announcement here soon. If I were a betting woman, I would probably say this week.
DJ Khaled.
Wouldn't that be weird?
That would be really
I mean,
weird.
I would dance, so I'm not sad about it. But we should be looking. I would probably bet about this week. We should, because it's 30 days now till. So
Yeah.
Secret
Well-
question.
I said next week.
Who do you guys think it'll be?
You know,
Just make a guess. Or who do you want to see?
It's
Guess
really-
who you think it will be, or who
it's
you really
really
want to see.
difficult because they have to
Right.
tap all genres, right? It's so, I don't envy their position because they gotta get one band to rule them all, and they also have a budget, right? They're not gonna get Kanye.
But I think at the end of the day, regardless, they're
would
going to
hate
pick
it if they got
somebody,
Kanye.
and they're going to go with the majority. And at the end of the day, I'm going to be happy with whoever's there.
Guys,
agree.
don't dodge my question. I'm asking you a question.
Dude, I want Jay-Z, dude, or Drake.
Jigga Man, who do you want,
Yeah.
Belle?
I like their music, not enough to see a whole concert though.
I
Like
do.
they need to. It needs to be a band that you can see a whole concert with, right? Like
Yeah,
you
it's
can
not going to be
deal
a
with all
rap
of it.
star.
No, of course not.
As much as
Because that's just not the style of
exactly.
you know that specific genre of music. Although lots of us gamers listen to it, it's not. I don't think it's
Right.
the
I
style.
only listen to it when I PvP.
I
I
thought
listen
Linkin
to a lot of
Park was great.
Eminem when I
Right.
PvP. I
Or
was
Michael
so
Jackson.
close.
Load 100 real quick.
Well, yeah, and Michael Jackson. I was so close to Chester last year that like he was sweating, and I was loving it. Except I'm a germaphobe, so I kept like wincing because I expected when he shook his head for it to go flying everywhere.
Fly on your lip.
So I was
Ooh.
like eyeballing the beads of sweat and just making sure I had a line of sight on where they could possibly
You should
fall.
have just caught him. Like, wow.
And he was still wiping himself down with a towel, and it was just profusely it was.
Oh, yeah.
And then the guy next to me yelling in my ear, he was actually singing every song, very off key. Lovely gentleman, but he was like their biggest fan, and I literally was like, "Can you maybe not scream in my ear?"
Should have hugged him.
I get it. You're numb. Cool. Got it. We're good. Like, that's awesome. Maybe. And he, before the show started, he was like, "I'm their biggest fan. I don't even know anything about BlizzCon. I just came here for the concert."
Oh my
You
god.
What?
Can I have your
That's
goodie bag,
great.
please?
You what? You're not even a BlizzCon goer? You literally follow these guys around the world. Okay. I'm not going to knock
That's
it because
amazing.
you do you, boo-boo. So,
We might have got a new player out of it. Whatever.
maybe.
I mean, possibly.
he
Probably went to
was-
another game though.
He was really excited about his life. So that's
Yeah.
pretty much all the news. We didn't have a whole lot of news. Blizzard's doing a lot of things. They're trying to get 7.1 done. They have BlizzCon. There's so much going on right now that it's been super quiet. And I think from BlizzCon we could probably expect a Diablo announcement. I think that's long overdue. So I think we're probably going to be expecting something.
They're going to introduce a new class.
Yeah, I think
They-
Diablo is going to be pretty huge.
They're going
in
to
focus.
introduce the. I
The
almost
what?
said someone's
Now
real name.
I did get some intel that did confirm what I had stated previously about it being a lot of Diablo in nature, although my source wouldn't tell me exactly what, but it's going to be pretty huge. So I think that's going to be pretty fun in my opinion. So I don't know what they're going to do with the other games, honestly. Hearthstone, they just did their Karazhan thing, which is pretty awesome. So good things, man, good things. So with that being said, let's go to the segment, shall we? Now, Hots is going to get back into the swing of things, and we'll kind of develop what he's going to be talking about. It's a neat little mechanic that we've introduced because we have Secret Sauce, who is a excellent mythic level raider, but is not the elite mentality
Nah.
that our dear little Hots for Shots is. So I think we can expect
That's too much work.
some good things on the show with some interesting viewpoints as we progress through these tiers and we're going through these through this content. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm hoping one of them like gets so mad they like punch each other because that would be really awesome. Oh, you got it, huh? I haven't gotten mine yet.
No, I just opened the box.
I downloaded
was-
mine illegally, so
I did too, but it's on the potato computer, so
Oh,
it's just
damn.
stuck there. But it's right here.
but I am gonna buy it. I want to get they have the steel case.
This was for my birthday. This is from my lady.
Aw,
bought
She's
it.
such a good woman.
Nice.
She bought it as I was going to the store to buy it. So I was like, all right, I just saved $20.
Too funny. Jim, tell us about the Pet Battle World.
Oh, Lycan asked me to cover lore this week.
That's embarrassing because you don't know anything about lore.
Yeah, this is true. I was going to say
It
I've
is?
got it all written down here. Yeah, no, I really don't. But I wanted to talk about pet battles, of course. Now, last week I kind of went over a few things, but I felt it just wasn't up to par. I really love pet battles, but sometimes it's hard to present a topic or bring certain information to you. So I was talking to Belle, and she just said, find what inspires you, or just go and look at what you can, right? So right after the show, we did a lot of things. I looked at what I talked about last week, and one of them was I miss the what are they called? The bonus weeks, the events. So we don't have the pet battle bonus event anymore. Right, which is 3 times the amount of experience. So I say that.
Wait, they took it out completely? It's not in the rotation?
Well, it's not. There is no rotation anymore.
Yeah, that stuff just started back.
They just started the rotation next week.
It's back. They heard my request, and now it's back. I don't think they're going to start off with the pet battles.
They didn't. They started off with arenas, but it is back in rotation.
And that was a great segue to say, no, I really didn't know that, but I'm glad I do. But what you can do in between while you're waiting for these weeks, hey, I got so much work, just like you, David. Secret. No, I'm joking. So if you are not going to wait for the bonus event, which you can because it's 3 times experience, this is a perfect opportunity to not only level up some of the new pets, but you can level up some of your alts at the same time. I've gotten a full level on my priest by just power leveling pets the way I normally would, but I do it on an alt. So, most of you know how to power level pets. You buy your pet treats, 50% extra experience for a pet treat. The lesser pet treat is 25% extra experience gained. And if you've got the safari hat for beating all the tamers, it's an extra 10, right? So you can do that, and you can power level pets 1 to 25 in 3 fights. But you can get so much experience leveling your character. Like I said, I've already gained a 1 level. The only one problem with that is if you're looking to do world quests or have rep with that character, obviously you're getting free levels without questing in the Legion areas, right? But that's no thing. You're not going to care about world quests on an alt as much. So big recommendation, enjoy leveling up all these new pets and do it on an alt to get the extra experience because it's great. So another thing, how are we going to get inspired, right? We want to bring all this information. So I really just started looking at all of the new pets, and there's so many good ones, and I think there's they've got great abilities, different abilities for different scenarios. So the one I haven't got my hand on is for all you raiders. You've been in there. I haven't seen a dream whelpling, but they look amazing. They are just like
one last week.
Yeah, and a lot of people actually, I think I had a lot of people reach out to me because they could kind of tell I was thinking of stuff to talk about, and they were linking me this dream whelpling that I actually didn't know about, and it looks really cool. It looks like some of the other whelplings, but it's a greenish tinge and just looks really great.
I have it following me around every once in a while.
Good. I'm glad you guys got it. And it works similar to the Emerald Proto-Whelp, right, where it can reduce damage and heal. So when I finally get one, yes, it's sad that the pet guy doesn't have one yet, but I'll be able to experiment with those ones. But
We'll find someone to give you one.
I'll wait for us to get a kill, and then I'll invite you in, and then
I'm not like...
Yeah, you can go get it.
I'm not a charity case, guys. I can get in there, but I appreciate the invites, though. I will be raiding soon eventually. But I thought it was a cool pet, and it worked like the Emerald Proto-Whelp.
He's going to take you up on that offer, Hots.
Yeah, now I'm messaging. Remember you said you'd help me get a kill? Yeah, I need some loot. But I appreciate it. And then I also got a chance to just check out the Sunborn Valkyr. Lycan gave me Trigger to level up and take a look at. And one that I made because I'm an enchanter was the Enchanted Pen. It's very cool at first. I'm like, whatever, I'll just make it because I'm an enchanter and I can make it. But I started messing around.
It's an actual pet, right? Like you can use it.
Yeah, it's a companion pet. It's a pen. So it's just a pen floating. It's an enchanted pen, of course, but it has unique abilities. So I got a chance to do a guide and do that. You got a question, Belle?
Well, my question is, in Suramar, you have the Palace Minders, is what they're called, and it's a book, and there's an enchanted pen that's writing in the book, and it walks, it floats around. Is that where it comes from in its nature?
I'm gonna find out actually, because I don't know look-wise. No.
Is that just where they got the idea? Because it's a floating pen, so I didn't know if.
Right. No, the quest line where you pick up where to pick it up is actually from Stormheim, and you go and do this chick's hut, and you bring to life these inanimate objects around her house, and that's where the actual pet look comes from.
Oh.
I mean, it's obviously dispersed throughout the world because Blizzard loves doing that, but it's
no, they don't. Why would you say such things?
No. But
it is new pet wise.
That is the look. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
But
okay, cool.
The book that I'm thinking of you talking about, and I don't know if it's the book, they did reskin that same book. I've seen, obviously they do reskin, and the Alarmobot pet is from the thing that alarms you in not Naxxramas, not Bastion of Twilight.
Siege of Orgrimmar?
No, the one before. Before Bastion of Twilight.
Just throwing.
No, am I talking?
No, I thought we were throwing things out, so I was just throwing things out.
From Kata. No. The cat. What was the first raid in Kata? Bastion of Twilight. Thanks, guys. Bastion of Twilight, that Alarmobot, it was warning before. Yeah, right.
Happy to be of service, sir.
That was in Normergon. What are you talking about? It was the same thing.
Yeah, the same things are in Normergon.
Yeah.
Oh, are they? Oh,
It
my.
starts
Yeah,
alarming
vanilla.
everything if you don't kill it fast enough.
Oh, so they really are
And
reskinning these
they
things.
come out like 50 deep if that thing
Right.
goes off.
Oh my, that sounds
Nice.
like a party. Anyway, sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to DDoS. I always,
No, it's good.
I always see the palace minders, and it makes me laugh because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
what can a book and a pen do? They're the palace
Right.
minders. I guess they're taking,
Your ass.
they're writing
names.
down a list of who's naughty or nice. Maybe naughty Nikki.
Checking
Maybe
it twice, maybe. You never know, right?
Anyway.
And the
Did you make that all?
I have not. It's
Yeah, how do you
we
think
all-
he makes his in-game gold? He dances on the
Ayo.
mailbox and maybe
Things-
performs services.
Yeah. Things have slowed
I know
down
that.
since treasure hunters are gone. I got to make a living somehow, so that's a good idea. But yeah, I mean, I went back to, so I guess you could say the basics, right? I looked at the new pets, and I kind of was just being a little down on no event, which we're glad it's back, and you can wait for that. But level those up, level your new pets up, enjoy, and get some of your alts, some free levels without wasting a lot of time, right? So, yeah.
Same.
Unless you want to talk more about Enchanted Pen and stuff like that,
No,
but
I was curious about that.
I'm really curious as to how it attacks. Like,
yeah, it actually has. So actually, here's another funny thing.
Does
So
it
I
like
made the
shoot
video.
ink?
That's what I was thinking.
No,
I
it
was
rolls right up at you and it hits you with quills. It actually has very minimal damage moves. So quills will hit you 1 or 2 times and hit an additional times if you go first. But I just finished the video. I even looked up how to say the word and I said it wrong and Lycan corrected me. So I was saying foreboding curse. I said it 3
He told
times.
me you recorded the whole video saying foreboding, right?
I'm glad I only said it 3 times and I could go back to the video, delete it, and then redo it. So I
I've
was
done
like,
that,
no.
so I feel your pain.
Oh yeah, you really can, and you're so frustrated. And I had left my house and I uploaded it, and I'm like just the whole time so grumpy because I knew. And anyways, I fixed it.
It's not. You have gone a video calling the pet the complete wrong name before. So
Yeah, it's exactly made me thought it was the mechanical axe break.
yeah.
So I fixed it.
What
but
what
I
were
noticed
you calling it though?
it's axe beak. It
yeah.
was called axe
Oh,
break.
that's kind of like a big deal.
It was so dumb, and that was even harder to adjust. And I had the picture where I put mechanical axe break. So not only did I fix the video, but I used the same picture. So for months it said mechanical axe break for the mechanical axe beak video. I'm so fail,
Thank
but
you for that. I needed that laugh.
yeah, thank you. I'm glad I could bring some pleasure. But before we change topics, actually, for Boding Curse is actually a really cool move. It slows down your enemy and then adds a little bit of damage to every attack. So when you do that, your quills gets to attack and do more damage and hit an additional time for going first. So I was able to solo a previous trainer, which is in the video, and a lot of fun. So that's the excitement, bringing it back to the basics, and I had a blast. Yeah.
Nice. Make sure you guys go to his Pet Battle channel and watch the stuff because you get a lot of good information and you get to see strategy, which is really important.
And I need subscribers so bad because PWNCAST is now caught up. You're less than halfway to catch up, and you guys are we're moving at a rapid pace. But
I love ketchup.
Just wait. My goal was 5,000 subscribers on the
Okay.
YouTube channel by December, and my goal was, what was the goal? It was at past 15,000 downloads on iTunes, and we made it to almost
Did that.
22,000 downloads last month. So
we can touch more people at BlizzCon. We'll just go, hey, have you heard of PWNCAST?
we like
Go to the
touching
YouTube
people.
channel.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Go
of
to the
us more than
channel.
others.
I got to
Jim.
lay some people last year. That was more fun.
You got what?
I laid some people on the dance floor last year.
Yeah, you did. You were the break dancer.
Oh my.
Oh shit.
Oh my, that was just a lot of fun coming at
Really
ya.
was.
Awkward. Okay. Secret, what do you got on the ratings?
I was kind of stuck on your last statement, which was kind of you. Anyways, big something that I've noticed I did Emerald Nightmare last week twice, and a big thing that I've kind of noticed, especially like with writers, nonetheless, we were super melee heavy. Certain fights it works out for the most part. Casters play a huge part in raiding, so I know a lot of people have gotten into the whole artifacts, and some look way cooler than others. This, that, everything else. A lot of the abilities look way cooler, and I think that's kind of what deterred a lot of people from other alts or mains that they had. And like, hey, I want to be a super awesome Fury Warrior, or even Arms looks great now too. But I think, and Hots is kind of in that predicament where we all know him as the amazing druid that can go resto, boom chicken. He would play whatever was needed, and is always, we're always grateful for that. Any person that's ever had him in rating knows that. But excuse me, it's just that's going to probably be a big deal with this expansion. I've seen it throughout Draenor. I've been there once since we came back, the Emerald Isles, that I've seen so many melee characters this time around compared to. I've really not even seen any monks this expansion so far, and I keep hearing those heals are phenomenal.
It's so weird. I thought that same thing. Even Windwalkers are doing really, really well right now. I do think it is a little weird that we're not seeing a lot of that happen.
The biggest issue with it is there's so many classes that have a legendary that just quadruple what they could normally do.
Yeah,
and I have a feeling that Windwalkers are probably in that boat, because we have a pretty good Windwalker in our guild, or not Windwalker, but Mistweaver, but he can't touch anyone else that has legendaries, and so on and so forth. And it's, I mean,
well, you're not really
take it as
supposed
you
to,
will.
though. Legendary is legendary for a reason, though, right?
Yeah, it
for
is,
for
but
some guildies.
But a non-legendary monk is always going to be underperforming compared to a legendary player.
Of course.
Correct. And that is, it's a fair thing for people with legendaries to beat people without legendaries. The unfair thing, from my perspective, is you can't obtain them through a guaranteed way with
something
skill.
you could even farm or work towards, because
you have to farm it. You have to run heroics, mythic plus.
I'm
whatever.
gonna get mine off a random mob.
Yeah.
And
I've
It's
seen
still
people
not
get
even
them
have
off trash mobs just questing through zones. I've seen it happen.
Yeah,
that's gonna be me. 2017.
So
July.
I do agree that it's I do agree with that it's crappy because it's RNG and it's based off the gods loving you that day, where we have a guildie who got 3 of them. Even after the said hotfix where they weren't going to do that anymore, she got another one.
Like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Which is great for her. I'm not knocking it because she can only wear one. But I mean,
some of us are still
I
waiting
was
for
leveling
first.
one of my alts, and she messaged me and is like, "Oh, I have this, this, and this," and I was like, "Why are you even talking to me right now? Like, just go over there."
just go over there. Go sit in your no
Ignore.
timeout corner, Aja.
Yeah.
Sit in your
No.
timeout corner.
Yeah,
Please.
but I mean, it's just something I've noticed. I don't know how it is with you guys, Hots. I'm pretty sure your raid comparisons actually probably somewhat decent. Huh?
Melee heavy.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I've noticed even with the second group I ran with. It's heavy, it's super heavy, and I mean, like, you guys know me. I'll do what's best for the guild. I would love to bring back. I might change back to pop bottles. I don't think my girlfriend would be happy about that, but who knows? Well, my rogue's name's Ariana, so.
Oh, I was like, why would she be mad that you're swapping to your rogue because it's not pop bottles anymore? It's Ariana's.
Pop bottles was kicking people's asses, But I mean, it's just something I've noticed. I'm pretty sure a lot of other guilds may have noticed the exact same thing, but it's just within time people will realize that, hey, maybe I was kind of a douchebag to ditch my mage or my warlock or my druid and minus Hots. I'm not including you in this, but
No.
but it might happen.
I don't know why someone would want to ditch mage this expansion.
Well, no, exactly. Yeah, mage is like phenomenal right now, and I have a mage.
I'm
but-
shocked that Hots isn't playing a mage. It's the flavor right now.
I realistically would be,
He stopped going
and
to
that was
Stone.
that was the first thing I leveled. This
That was a
entire...
little passive aggressive in case those of you
Yeah.
who don't know me well picked up on that, because you are the flavor of the weak player.
I am, but at the same time, I will play the flavor of the league of what's needed. So if we need a good healer, I'll play the flavor of the month healer. If we need a good tank, I'll do that.
There's
But
no
would
honor
even
in
step-
your gaming. I hate you.
No,
There's
it's-
But it
honor.
is honorable if you
It's-
think about it.
it's
Kind of.
No class.
It's
loyalty.
more of I'm a WoW player. I'm not a X class player.
Your poor
Yeah.
druid is like crying in the corner because you don't even you don't even
can't-
log into your druid anymore.
I can't do it. I tried so hard on beta to want to play my druid, and I was just like, it sucks.
But I think Hots, you would also play a healer that say is, or a DPS that is not necessarily the best, but you'd still do it if it was
If
needed.
it has utility, yeah. Like,
Yeah, so
I
it's not
played
always
Death
about the
Knight,
numbers, even though that's important.
I've never
You
seen
could-
him
you
play
would
an arcane mage.
Well, but I don't think his
Arcane is
raid
so
would
fun.
need one.
In,
I do like arcane.
Mop. I played Arcane and Mop, but it was the flavor of the one. So.
There you go. He might be going back to a fire
But I
mage
am
then.
surprised you're not a mage. In truth, I am a little shocked.
I would be, but I didn't have the money to turn Alliance and go back
That's
or
fair.
transfer servers to
Makes
come back to Master the Karate. 'Cause
Okay.
So you're a
even
good
though they're
raid?
pissed I left, they are letting me come back through trial. They're like, I didn't leave on a bad note. I just left at a bad time because we were still progressing on Archelon. So
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah, we were
It happens.
pretty pissed. I didn't leave for another guild at least. Left for a
Yeah.
job.
We totally DDoSed Secrets segment.
It's fine. No, I mean it's still about rating, so it's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
I
But
mean,
the other cool thing right now, go ahead, Hots.
I was gonna say melee heavy only hurts on 2 fights right now, and that's Il'gynoth and Xavius. Somewhat Cenarius, but that's just
Yeah,
being
Sonaris
bad.
a little bit. It varies. Depends on people moving appropriately and stuff like that. But yeah, the other cool thing, like we've noticed, personal loot is actually fantastic. I'm kind of liking it now. Unless you're saved, then you're shit out of luck. But
Unless you have a seal.
yeah, seal cool, but then it's still yours regardless. You can't trade that. So that one actually becomes soulbound. Where if you actually loot the boss, I could trade to you if you have the right stats and whatnot. So is that the watermelon pen again?
This
Yeah,
one
that's
is
what I
cinnamon
said.
roll flavor smelling.
Oh.
I have several, but this week it's cinnamon roll. My
That's
son
the
stole
of
it.
the week. That's the flavor of the week.
It was watermelon
We
meat.
don't-
My son stole it.
Right. We don't like RNG, right? We don't like how the loot is like that. I guess it's safe to say. I think the community doesn't. You guys don't, right?
I love
I mean-
personal loot. Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking about?
So-
But not personal loot. Not personal loot. The RNG of all the randomness. Like I could see how that would just drive Hots crazy because he's trying to be a raid guy on this team and he needs a legendary. Doesn't need one, excuse me, but it would obviously help, and he has to just wait for this randomness.
Legendaries are personal. Whenever a boss dies, it will go.
It
straight
automatically goes to you.
inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it's master loot.
Think of like an item that you would pick up off of.
Yeah, no,
bosses.
I don't mean in fairness that the next
But
guy's
that's
going
the
to get
only
it.
item that's essentially RNG outside of your normal killing a boss and oh shit, all I got was gold. So there's no other
Yeah, like-
RNG elements per se because you could easily gear in mythics or world quests. I'm almost 850 geared and I've only gotten one piece from raid. The rest of it's been world quests. So there's not the RNG isn't too terrible with the exception of PvP. That's the only
I
thing.
will.
So-
Yeah, so, but I guess that's
I'll
what
give
I'm
for
thinking
here
about a
next.
lot too.
PvP RNG.
So after David finishes that segment, I do have something to throw in about that, and it's not bad, but it's kind of a trick.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
so
really keep that anyways. So
I have confirmed through one personally doing it, and two through one of my old Overwatch coach. If you use personal loot and you bring in a majority of people who are locked, it increases the percentage of people who are not locked to get loot.
Mhm.
So it's just because of how it works in the system. It's like, all right, well, we'll
Their
distribute
balance
this
template.
percentages.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll balance this out. Well, this person can't get gear, so this percentage transfers over to everyone. So if you run Mythic Pluses with people that can trade you gear or loot locked, I got a piece of gear. I was 850 in 2 days.
wow, that's gnarly.
So I was like, oh, okay. So that's just an idea. If you
For your raid
are
class?
yeah. I mean, if you are an altaholic and you need certain pieces of gear, or like you want to level and all, to do what I do is transfer or switch tunes constantly. You can convince people to
Right.
run mythics with you that are already loot locked and just trade you gear.
Well, and it's good if you're doing, especially with mythics. It's good to do like if you're a caster, if you're a clothy, bring another clothy, so that you guys could bounce loot
You
off
could
of
trade
each other.
out.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I always run them with all not cloths. It doesn't help me
I'm on the
anyway
same
because
boat.
I'm out
If
geared. But
Belle ran the raid group, she's like, no one's coming, no mages, no warlocks, no
I know.
priests."
I like
Me
that
too.
because the more that there is of what you
Oh,
wear,
okay.
the better the chance of you
Yeah.
getting what you need. So I totally don't even mind that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
So,
works.
true,
But
true.
But
Proud of
I
you.
mean, as far as what Jim was saying, having Master Looter, it's good to an extent. We use it still, but we're probably going to swap to personal.
It's good when raid
in
leaders
about a
want to
week or
be
two.
gods, okay, guys? Just kidding.
Kinda, yeah.
Well, I think I asked my
we still
question
roll
at the
for
wrong
gear.
time.
but-
I didn't mean for like raids. I guess just like there's
Oh,
like Bal said for the PvP or like good luck getting a legendary, right? And I'm sure it will drop one time, but you
I mean,
know,
when we're clearing content, I'd prefer guarantees on gear that people actually need it. Like,
yeah,
I still have I just got rid of an 830 trinket, so it's like, if that was personal loot, I may or may not have gotten a trinket.
Right, exactly.
But once it gets to a point where it's like, okay, this is like a side upgrade, or it might go Titan Forge. That's what confuses me. This entire expansion is Titan Forge and sockets and extra stats, but
yeah.
that's where you want to start going personal.
Yeah, I
in my
agree.
opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I could see.
I
where
agree
the
with you
rates would want
guys.
personal.
Thanks, man.
You too, Bal. I agree with you.
Even with that stank face, look at that.
I know. Get that stank face off your
So
face.
because my Bell's Bites is going to be in large parts going to be reading some of the emails that I requested from everybody last week. But
Did you get mine?
I did get yours, and I am going to have to forward that picture to the authorities because it was inappropriate.
Send
not
it
fair.
to Lycan right now.
So
That's what you asked for.
in line with what Jimmo was talking about regarding gear. So a couple episodes ago, I talked about PvP gear, and I talked about using normal gear at first until you get what you need for PvP. A lot of people commented and told me I was wrong about the gear. I don't think they understood what I was saying about it, so I'm just going to reiterate so that I can make sure that you guys are clear on what I meant. So right now, the first item level of PvP gear getting is 815, and that's going to be the bulk of what your World Quest gear is going to be 815, right? The 840 is your top level PvP gear. Now, that's not going to be easily acquired because that's RNG. It's based off getting them out of the boxes. Occasionally, your gear from a World Quest will upgrade to the 840, but you can't go to a vendor and buy 840 gear. So when I talked about using your PvE gear, I meant up to 840. Obviously, I know that you don't want to go run mythic raids and have item level 900, and that'll be your gear instead of PvP. I strictly meant until you are that 840 or until you're getting 840 pieces, you do want to take advantage of the PvE gear because I was 100% valid with that. I know because I tested it. I went in with not the item level and I got shit on. I went in with the item level and did not get shit on. So I didn't mean, I think people thought, well, what do you mean PvP gear and use your PvE gear? It's totally not what I meant. I just meant versus the 815 item level gear. So that's all I meant. I wanted to make sure that I reiterated that because I think people kind of took what I said in the not correct context. So I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys a little bit of background on that.
There's even some PvP gear that's actually really good right now.
Yeah,
for
I
PvE,
actually have one of those pieces that's a PvP piece that it's amazing stats. So
yeah, that's how it was in Warlords. That's how it was. That's how. I mean, it's early content too right now. So I mean, why not take advantage of it?
For sure.
So I have a question. I've never had this confirmed or not, but if I'm not I heard that your PvP level, like your honor level or whatever, has a lot to do with the amount of the eye level you're getting from quests. Like it might not show, but they said it upgrades a lot more often.
The farther you are, the more possibility you have, the more rate you have of getting that. So that is 100% valid. And then you want your higher honor level. You want higher honor level anyway because you want those talents, right? You want Now the thing that's changing in 7.1, which I think I might have forgot to tell you guys, is that prestige. You don't lose your talents when you prestige now, which
you told us.
Which
we talked about that.
I've been on the fence about this for a couple of weeks. I think it's really cool because I plan on prestiging, but then I think, well, what the fuck is the point then? If we don't lose anything, what's the point? I mean, you're gaining a lot, and it's all great, but I'm thinking just like on a personal, like like a personal level to drive myself.
I know where that's coming from.
So so say they went back to the way it was before, where you prestige, everything reset, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you went from 1 to 2, and now you're back at level 1 of your honor talents. Mm-hmm. Now, would someone that's level 1 but maxed out be able to kick your ass? Get what I'm saying?
The talents matter because even prestiging doesn't increase the stats on your talents, so it doesn't do anything for you outside of...
So you'd be okay with losing all your talents and then HOTS come in and murk you?
I think it's more of a back end of having to work for something and making that ultimate sacrifice to get the visuals, the visual accolades that you're looking for in game. I think was kind of like, I'm really happy and I'm not complaining when you give me stuff that's easy. That's awesome. But I think I liked what they were doing originally, and I like
The
that.
challenge of
Yeah, the
sacrifice.
challenge of sacrificing
everything.
and knowing you were going to have a
I
tough week
can-
until you got all your talents back, and then it made it that much better to me in my mind, I guess.
I can almost guarantee you I know where that's coming from. So, if you think about high-end arena, and it's not like it's not.
Well, I know
everyone's
why they
cooked
did
with-
it.
Yeah, it's like not even like gladiators and whatnot, but you're looking at like 2,300 up kind of deal. You have to play one game a week, and win at least 50 games to maintain your rank, or
Right.
it deteriorates.
Yes.
I know,
So-
yeah.
The people who play at a higher level in PvP but can't play all the time, if they wanted to prestige, they would kind of get screwed on getting their
Well,
rank.
then they don't
because-
prestige.
Well, and
I think is
here's
what Bell was
and
thinking
you, I'm
of.
glad that you brought that up, because you are right. We did cater to the pros here, and I'm okay with that because I'm just going to be that girl that just agrees. However, I do 100% agree with you that is why they did it. They catered to these guys because these guys make their money. These guys sell World of Warcraft on a high-end level when it comes to PvP, and they want to see these guys prestige on their stream. They want to see these visual accolades. These PvP guys want that, and I'm not knocking that, guys. I'm not insulting. I think that's awesome. I think that's great. But for the little guys who like the feeling of, I just sacrificed all of my life force to be able to prestige, and boy, is that going to fucking feel great when I unlock my weapon, or when when I've prestiged 5 times and I get, that different little character, the character plate. I felt like it would have meant more with that sacrifice.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy
True.
it one
I mean,
way or the
I
other,
agree with that.
I'm going to enjoy it. I think it's good, but I am sad that they did make that change a little bit.
Yeah, I think if there wasn't so much at stake, like shamans get a heroism.
When you say
at
so
a
much at
certain
stake,
level.
you mean pro players' paychecks. Is that what you mean?
Not even pro, like
That's what's
23
at
layer
stake.
and up, like 2,300 and up couldn't even do it, because that's where it starts coming down to the minute things
Right.
start giving you the advantage.
Yeah.
So it's
I agree. I think that's great that they did it. It sucks
Yeah.
for those of us that are not playing on that level. But, I mean, you still have to work for it because you still have to grind out the level. So you're still doing some work. It's just, in my opinion, it's not as fun as it was before. But,
Right.
it's not as rewarding, I would
Well,
say.
when you
Right.
first announced it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And like, you have to decide, do you want to keep them all or just sacrifice and get your new little pretty whatever? So, but at least I guess Blizzard's listening, I guess. But
Well-
then Bell, you can also laugh like they're listening to those fools, right?
and that's okay. They whatever
Yeah.
keeps WoW relevant in that regard for
Yeah.
PvP, I'm happy with that, because I would prefer me suffer than lose what I love, which is the high.
Yeah.
I love watching the high-end PvP. So I'm okay with that. I think that's Blizzard. You're fine for doing that. I'm gonna. Shut
If
up
I'm
and
not
chat.
mistaken, Blizzard just retracted their kind of ban, so to say, on WoW tournaments outside of BlizzCon.
Oh, really?
If I'm not, I
So there
heard
was
about it a
never
while back. ago.
There isn't a ban, but they are allowing outside World of Warcraft tournaments for PvP, and that's actually going to be the focus
Yeah.
in the next year, which we talked about that a couple of episodes ago. They are trying to do things throughout the year outside of BlizzCon. They are sanctioning that, and they are
Yeah.
allowing. When I had
That's
Ben
what I'm
Ruki on
looking
for
for.
PDQ, he did talk about that in great detail. Yeah, they are definitely doing that and making.
Yeah.
They want to make it a thing this next year. Outside of just BlizzCon,
I mean-
they want it to be Heroes of the Storm level, Overwatch level, where you have tons of tournaments all over the place. So I think that's so great.
If you think about it, though, like Overwatch had a $300,000 tournament 6 months after it was released, roughly. What do you get for? And that's going to be happening frequently, and that's one of the smaller ones. That's because it's brand new. Think about if WoW Arena would have allowed WoW Arena to be having sanctioned tournaments around. Like, you would have hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions, into WoW Arena, and that would be so much more fun and so much more rewarding, because you don't have, like, a lot of the reason that some of the pro players you see the same pro players every year is because they're at that level, but no one has the drive to get to that level and want to be at that high, because there's no reward other than BlizzCon, and that's one tournament a year. Like,
I want to see them make it relevant, and I want it to be relevant all the time. So I'm with you. I will watch that stuff all day long, literally every day, all day. It'll be on my monitor while I'm working. So I'm excited. And when I did talk to Ben about that, he did, tell me that is one of the things that they are going for. Is they want, WoW, as far as arenas for esports, to be a thing. They want it. They want to switch to that focus. Admittedly, they should have already done that already, but I think PvP was not in the place with Warlords of Draenor for it to be a thing. So I think they've taken leaps and bounds. I think they've taken great steps. So I mean, I'm loving the PvP situation right now. I haven't done a whole lot of arenas. I don't think I've done one yet, but I'm loving what's going on, except which is what I'm going to talk about for Bell's Bites before I read these emails, is going to be the CCs and interrupts. So I want to see if anybody else feels like me. Now, I'm a caster, so I'm going to be CC'd all day long because they're going to try to lock down my bolts, right? That's just the nature of being me. It is what it is. But I gotta be honest, I spend the entire duration of most fights in CC. There's no diminishing returns. I'm literally back to back to back to back fucking locked every 5 seconds. Now, I gotta tell you, it's really frustrating, and I don't know if this was Blizzard's intention when it comes to a caster facing melee. I don't know if they just thought, well, let's make it interesting and make it where the caster's just CC'd all the time. It's gonna be fine in RBGs because I can make call-outs, hey, can you help me, and those kind of things, but when you're in a random scenario, that's a little tough because nobody gives a fuck about you. They just care about going and doing their thing. You don't have like a pocket heals unless you go in with it, your healer buddy. But it's a little bit rough right now. So I want to know if anybody else is feeling my pain. So I plan on talking about this in great detail next week, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion. So if you're watching or you're listening, if you're listening on audio, send me an email and tell me how you feel about this. If you're watching, make sure you guys put a comment. I want to know what your guys' feelings are, my PvPers out there, and tell me kind of how you're feeling about this CC and the interrupts, dude. Like, the interrupts, those are supposed to happen. That's the only way you can get anything done is by interrupting people, but it just feels like that's how I spend my whole fight, minus the...
You should be CC'd.
Right.
I'm not saying it should be that long, but...
With the diminishing returns just non-existent, I fucking spent... the whole fight polymorphed. I'm not even joking you. I was like, seriously? The whole freaking fight I was polymorphed. So
but there's a diminishing... Sorry, go ahead.
It doesn't seem to be a diminishing return whatsoever.
There is.
But it doesn't feel
bugged.
like where I felt the diminishing return the end of last season. I don't feel that at all. I feel like there's none.
But on Poly, it's the same time, but it might not just be Poly. It could be Poly, and then you're CC'd for another one.
Poly Pocket.
God, it's so bad.
But... And when I say you should be, I mean, like, you shouldn't be free casting. They should be CCing you. So I don't know if you're talking arenas per se, but...
No, I don't really do much arenas. This is all just in a random.
Right.
And this isn't me complaining about being CC'd. You should understand, I've been this way my whole life. I'm always CC'd. It seems like that's all that's happening. If there's literally, that is all that's happening. There's a few Chaos Bolts in there, a couple Fears, but there's literally... I'm spending these entire matches completely CC'd unless I go in with a friend and that friend does what they need to do for me. So I just want to know everybody else's opinion, just kind of feel, I want to know kind of what everybody's feeling. Now, adaptation, which is one of the talents for your CC breaker, your adaptation will actually lower the duration of your CC by 3%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually quite good. It's quite cool because it does for all CCs. So it's going to lower it all by 30%. For the duration versus the trinket, right? The trinket to me is useless because the second I use it, I'm CC 2 seconds later. So the trinket, in my case as a caster, it's kind of a waste of time. But I do like the adaptation. I do think that was really neat on Blizzard to put that in as a talent. I don't know if anybody else feels that way about adaptation, but I do like it.
I'm really back and forth on the level 1 or like that first tier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think an adaptation would be really good in RBGs.
It's garbage in arenas. You can't use it. You have to have that control over your trinket use in arenas for sure.
I was gonna say trinket you would probably need because of burst down, like if you're trying to burst someone down or you need to get away from something.
Strategy, it could be make or break a match in an arena if you opted for not your trinket and they're telling you to trinket because you need to cool down, whatever, and you don't have that, it's going to be a bad time. I talked about that when we did the talents things for that. So look at you being a little PvP guy. something.
PvP or
I'm a wower. Oh,
Yeah,
it's just me.
you're something. Okay, so
Ooh, what's that mean?
What does that mean?
there was some hot fixes that
Whoa.
happened live during the show.
like
on
for shots?
PWNCAST. Yeah.
Live.
We got our own hot fix.
There's a couple class hot fixes, nothing major, but I
Make the
wanted to
strike
talk
out.
about hot fixes specifically to mythics, which is important. So for all your mythic
Mythic
keystones,
Dungeon. Okay.
all your mythic keystone target times, hold on, I might have lied. So for Blackrock Hold, your mythic keystone target time was increased to 38 minutes from 35. Eye of Ashara, your keystone target time was decreased from 35 minutes from 36 minutes to 35 minutes. Your Maw of Souls, it was decreased to 24 minutes from 25. Netherian's Lair, it was decreased from 35 to 33. And
No.
then for Emerald Nightmare, the Vantius runes can now be used in Mythics, which is nice for the raid for those Vantius runes. So
That's cool.
I thought that was interesting because Mythic, especially the Keystone system, is such a huge, like, everybody is loving this Keystone system.
The
literally.
faster you finish, the more loot you get.
That's literally what happens in real life, too. Is it not, Secret? No?
No,
I think so.
I think it's
I don't-
reverse.
I don't finish fast.
No, I got stuff to do. I don't got time for all that bullshit.
Mm.
Get in and get out.
Nope.
I mean, unless it's the kind of girl that makes you a sandwich after.
For enchanting, crafted
Cup of
crafted items that upgrade to epic quality will now disenchant into leylight shards and chaos crystals. So important note for you guys that are enchanters
cool.
there.
Yeah, buddy.
And then for PvP, shaman totems will no longer take unintended extra damage from players, which is nice. So those were the hot fixes. Those were kind of important ones. There's a couple class ones that's not important enough for me to mention, but if you're interested, there was some changes made. So,
They also did a hotfix that I have yet to hear anything about.
which is what?
Mm.
The initial quest line, whenever you go to New Dalaran, where you get the tomes to change your talents wherever you're at.
Yeah.
They made those bind on pickup.
Finally.
Finally.
Yeah, because I 50 on
As
ticket
soon
sauce.
as I realized that I could trade those, every tune went to that thing and sent them to my main and was like, nope, I'm not spending
Yeah.
600 gold per. Stupid.
Too
But
funny.
yeah, one of my guild mates was like, why can't I send this anymore? And I was like, you got fucked.
They fixed it real quick, man.
So let's talk about. I'm gonna pull it up here. My face went really white. I could feel it. I got a total of, and I lied. I said 31. I got a total of 32 emails last week.
Damn, son.
I put a call out for the audio guys, right? Because the audio guys don't really have a place to kind of comment unless they go to PWNCAST.tv, which for those of you that listen on audio, if you go to PWNCAST.tv, which is where the audio also is, if you're bored and whatnot, you can go and comment on each episode is uploaded there. So if the audio guys are suffering, they feel like they can't really comment, PWNCAST.tv is the place to go. Comments on the episode, it emails me. So feel free, if you are audio only, to go and do the things. And it's mobile friendly, so if you want to pull it up on your mobile app, be good to be able to do that without it taking a lot of resources. So I wanted to hear from you audio guys. I wanted to hear your story, where you're from. The very first one had me cracking up because I had made a statement about tell me what's in your fridge, and he literally told me what was in his fridge. And I was so excited that somebody actually listened and told me what was in their fridge. So I'm just going to...
What was in this fridge?
I'm going to read, I told you guys I would read a couple, so I'm going to read his, and this is actually from Jeremy, and he says, hey, Belle, I started listening a bit after the release of Legion. I listen on Google Play and mostly while I'm watching WoW or standing watch, obviously military. I used to play WoW heavily during Wrath of Lich King as a holy priest and enjoyed a lot of raiding. Don't know if that's what I'll do in Legion. I leveled my priest up from 0 to 100, and now I'm really just getting into the Legion content. I'm glad to be back, though. I miss my old account and characters. Oh, he had to sell his account to make it through college. Oh, that's so sad.
Man, that's a struggle right there.
I know.
Never would I ever.
Now that I'm in the military and I've got more free time, it's back to WoW rather than leaving base every night and spending boatloads of money on being a normal social person. I'm going to insert that it's possible that there might have been some additional money spent on hookers and blow. So he says, what's in my mini fridge in my barracks? I've got a half a gallon of milk, sunburn lotion, water, my water bottle, and a block of frozen spinach. I
man.
love that he said that. And then
Make sure he drains the spinach.
my response was, I also randomly had a block of frozen spinach in my freezer because I went through my artichoke spinach homemade dip phase, and I had like 20 blocks. I know. I had like 20 blocks of it.
Bread.
But I love that he said that. I appreciated that he took the time to tell me that. It was good stuff, good stuff. And then we have an EU, which is really nice. I always like it when it's other people all over the world. And this is from Lee. He said, "Hey
Can you read
all."
it in an accent?
No, I'm not. I don't know what accent to choose since it's EU.
Just pick one.
He says, "Hey all, dropping a line as requested, hailing from a very wet Wales over in the UK. Listen on iTunes, mainly due to time difference. Love the show, and the website always seem to end the episode with a list of things I need to go look into when I log in next. Started listening after I heard about you guys on Realm Maintenance. Shout out to Ro, because he's awesome.
Nice.
By the
Thank
time
you.
you read this, the classes will have had buffs and nerfs. How are you feeling about your mains? Do you think perhaps a few more changes are in order, or has it come up all Goldilocks for you? Keep up all the awesome. Trip or Tripe, not really sure. As far as, but he's a frost mage. Horde. I love you even though you're Horde. I feel great because I got buffed, so
You got buffed like crazy too.
I feel good. I'm feeling
Yeah.
quite. Oh.
Quite fabulous.
Distracted.
Oh.
Yeah, well.
I didn't know anybody was in his room. That's why I was a little weirded out.
Oh no, they knocked on the door and I was like,
Oh, I was like, that's really
you-
weird. He's talking to himself.
Hey, how's it going?
Did anybody have any adverse reactions to buffs or nerfs on there?
Mine were minimal. So like I'm out on this convo.
Yeah.
I don't have a main yet.
There you go.
He's
See?
undecided.
There's-
He doesn't know if it's Hillary or Trump. I just had to
Good
mention
Lord.
it one time. Now it's out of my system and we're good to go, guys. So, I think overall the changes were needed. I didn't see a huge change that seemed unnecessary to me when it came, especially to this last round of fixing things. They did a lot of changes to the Shadow Priests and then reverted those changes immediately when they realized that Shadow Priests were on their way to headquarters to burn the bitch down. So they did immediately revert some very ill-fated little changes that they did. They were like, "Oh hi, we were just kidding. We were checking to see if you guys
Psych.
were paying
Whoops.
attention."
See if you're paying attention.
Well, I
that's
messaged
all.
Tots and I'm like, "Hey, did you see this?" And he was like, "No, I haven't been online in a week because internet or something." And I'm like, "Well," so yeah, that's what happens when the masses speak to you in troves and you're afraid for your life because.
But I think we talked last week, and a lot of them were needed, like the buffs.
A lot
for
of them were
classes.
needed for balancing. And then somebody, I'm not sure who was it, but I'm sure they'll comment here. Somebody had commented about how terrible the Demon Hunter nerf was, but it's really weird that you would say that because our Demon Hunter in our
I
raid
haven't
was
seen anything.
our Demon Hunter in our
anything
raid
that
is top
matters.
damage. So who is that? We call him Fargenschwargel because we can't pronounce his name. What's his
I mean,
name?
he got outbeat by Cash and Soda,
But
but
he's not
he's-
like
he's still up
all
there.
the demon hunters
Yeah.
were like, "Oh God, you shot me in the heart. I'm gonna die." He literally was right up there with the rest of them. So
his character has too many vowels and too many accents. So
it's like hit a lagabra.
Laura Gerber.
I could notice something in our demon hunters because they went from about 4th or 5th to about 7th or 8th.
Yeah, ours is
Roughly.
not 4th or 5th. Ours is like 3rd.
Well,
We're also stacked more, so.
I mean, obviously
you know.
we're not mythic, but
don't.
top
no,
of the
he
charts
didn't
is
need
still
to-
top
I'm just
of the
saying, like,
charts.
I could- I'm just saying, like,
So think his guild is different in the
They-
sense that like you have to have the best. I'm sure they've all grinded the best gear or as much as for each slot. So,
So that
when you
makes
see
it
the
worse
drop,
then because they're
it makes it.
that's what I'm saying. Like if my
The-
basic guild member is top, like if he's doing amazing numbers, it doesn't even really matter whether he's at the top. He's pulling.
But there's
great
classes that could be pulling more
They're-
DPS than that.
no.
that
numbers. I
aren't as
agree,
geared as
and I'm not
them.
saying
Well, no,
that they're
I'm just
better. I'm
saying-
saying I don't see the fruits of any nerf.
Oh.
they
essentially.
reverted. They did revert a few of the
They did.
nerfs
They
though
did.
before. So and the one that they revert, or one of the ones they reverted, was like the biggest one because it was their single target and their AOE ability. So it was like the same
They're
ability.
gonna go through several nerfs and buffs. They're the next, they're the
course.
next thing because that's what they do. Death Knights are great. They're still great. They're still the fan favorite. So
It was funny doing arena last night with Lycan and Vash, so the Death Knight and
Vash
the
is
Demon Hunter. And, well, you know, Lycan, like, oh, a true hero class. I got all the killing blows, and then Vash got them all the next match, and then I'm like, is the monk a hero class? And like, it's like, oh, look at the monk trying to be hero class. And they laughed at me a little bit. So no, it was good. Yeah, so
That's really sad.
cool story, bro.
And then we have
Pretty much.
we have Kelly. Kelly said, "I just started listening this month. Came back after a 5-year hiatus from WoW."
Damn.
Wow.
Living that
First
life.
of all,
Okay.
welcome back to the land of the living.
Welcome.
We are
No
excited that
kidding.
you're back in WoW. She said, "Grats on your record numbers. Enjoying the podcast. I will tell you, I listened to 25 different casts," and she puts
Wow.
in parentheses, literally, "as I like to have some casts to listen to while I work about the game I'm playing. Out of the 25, you are one of the few that I'm remaining subscribed to. I do that via Podcast Addict app on Android. I didn't even know that we were on there, but that's great." And then she did a
Damn.
smiley
Ooh,
face.
nice.
So I thought that was nice because there's girls there, and I
Holla.
like it. I don't get to see much feedback from girls because I like girls, obviously, because we share a
What's up?
common.
Me too. How you doing? Oh.
Hey,
me and the ladies, we share a common genital situation. So
No way.
I like
Fired,
I'd like to
yeah.
know that there's women out there because I'm literally swimming in a bag of dicks every episode because I'm surrounded by them. So it's
I'm
nice.
getting really awful.
It's nice
mental
that there's
images.
women out there listening, and I'm really excited for that because dicks. That's why.
Salute.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Smile and nod.
Los huevos.
And then the last one I'm going to read is from Derek. And he says, "Hello, I'm a new listener to the audio version of PWNCAST. On the last episode I listened to, you asked for emails from audio listeners, so I thought I would send you an email explaining how I came to listen as well as who I am. I listen to many different types of podcasts. I work at a warehouse on night shift, scheduled in an office, doing a job that consists of rushing through and then waiting for extended periods of time with nothing to do. That sounds like my Mondays. Without something to listen to, I would basically go crazy. I have a group of friends spread across the U.S. and Canada that play multiplayer online games. For the last few years, we spent our weekends playing League of Legends, with my friends, occasionally taking breaks every few months to play WoW for a period of time. I tried to play with them, but have not yet enjoyed the game or played with any consistency since Wrath. Due to the changes in everyone's life and increasing levels of stress, playing a game as competitive as League of Legends, where it's only PvP content, has caused us to start arguing more and enjoying ourselves less. I've heard that a lot in regards to League. And I'm sure Secret would probably have something to say about that. We are still friends and want to play games together, but our widely varying levels of dedication and skill made it incredibly frustrating to play versus other players. That's where Legion has come in. With its release, everyone went back to WoW only to discover how much more enjoyable the game is now in comparison to the last few expansions. After hearing about how much they were enjoying themselves, I decided to try WoW again, hoping this could be the game we play together, as the PvP content causes far fewer arguments. So far, we've had a blast together, as I have not played very much since Burning Crusade or Wrath, and I'm still trying to learn and catch up, but the experience has been much calmer and less competitive and stressful. The expansion has been amazing, but I can only play on weekends due to work as well as attending college. Good on you for getting more education.
Yeah, kudos to you, man.
To get a fix, I decided to look for some World of Warcraft podcasts, and yours was the first that came up. Good job, Belle.
Yeah, buddy.
Ta-da!
Just kidding. I've started listening and very much enjoyed the show, and now I can't wait for each new episode. Anyway, sorry to ramble. I enjoyed the show. The structure was very nice, providing different segments to accent the different aspects that players enjoy, and all are very entertaining. Keep up the good work, Stone Song. P.S. My fridge is full of beer, energy drinks, and water. Hey, you asked. Yes!
Oh, yeah.
So is mine, sir.
Nice.
So is mine. So, thank you to all the people that sent in emails. I'll probably read more throughout a few weeks to read them, because I did get such a large response. I love hearing from you guys, and we love getting to know you guys, since we don't really get to do that. Not a whole lot of room for back and forth. And it seems to be so many new people, and I'm so honored that you guys give us a listen. And I think that's pretty awesome. If you're listening on iTunes, don't forget we do have the video version if you ever want to see the funny faces that Jim Banks makes. They are important.
It's usually just his face.
It's usually just his face
Hello.
being his face. But that is all I had.
It is very cool to hear. Keep bombarding her with emails
I
as
know,
well. Don't
send
just
them.
let up.
I read every one of them. I didn't respond to any of them because I was just cataloging them, but I will be responding them to this week.
Right.
I love YouTube comments. I love everything. Go to PWNCAST.tv. You can watch the audio or listen to the audio version. You can download it from PWNCAST.tv, and you can also watch the video version from PWNCAST.tv. It'll take you to the YouTube. So
Actually, I have something that I want to know, and I don't think I've ever done this, but I have something that I want to know. How do people feel about Blizzard should have released Wardens as the new class instead of Demon Hunter, and just left Demon Hunter as the opposing, or as
it's
like
actually
a
a good question.
third faction? Because Wardens they can be melee, they can tank, and they could possibly be a range class.
They could have been a
And they would be a male wearer. Instead of bringing a 5th leather wearer,
Fourth.
I think. 4th, yeah.
That's a good
Instead of
question.
only being 2. So,
Comment.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. Yeah,
Comment on the
my
YouTube.
question.
Go to PWNCAST.tv and comment on the episode if you're an audio listener. I would like to hear that, actually. That's
Wardens would have been
interesting.
really, really cool. I'd
yeah.
have dug it.
I mean,
Phil, why don't
I
you
know
just
why.
answer that question?
I know why they did it, because it's Illidan. That's why.
Oh, that
Sure.
doesn't.
It was an instant moneymaker.
Yeah,
How
but
do we
there's your
fix
answer.
everything we
Wardens
broke in
are-
Warlords?
Yeah.
Oh, Illidan.
Yeah.
That's how we fix it. Literally. That's
Oh,
why.
everyone likes the Burning Crusade feel. Illidan.
But
Yeah.
I do think that would be interesting, and I
But,
wonder.
I mean, Wardens have something to do with Demon Hunters.
But do you
so
think that it's possible that they're saving it for something in the future?
What else do they have?
I don't
mean,
know.
Wardens
Blizzard pulls
protect the
rabbits
Illidan.
out of hats. They've made the same content work for 3 different expansions. So they're...
That's very
True story.
true. But I mean,
They're doing really
realistically,
well.
they should have dropped Wardens before Demon Hunters, just from a not even raid comp
That's a good
perspective, but like,
question.
I mean, you only have 2 malwares in the game. People are getting pissed whenever Shamans and Hunters are the only 2 rolling on Mel gear.
True.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like
Look
that.
at you. Your first day back, and you're already back into the swing of things.
Never left.
Never.
Never
There you
left.
go.
Flashback to
One of
that
us.
sad exit video where everybody cried.
Aw,
Oh.
Flashbacks, man.
One of us. One of us.
So, with that said, let's talk about everybody's weekend WoW. Hots, what did you do now that you have a weekend WoW?
Let's see. I've
Tell us.
leveled 4 different tunes in the span of 2 weeks. I've gotten 2 hidden artifact appearances, one for Mistweaver and one for my other class. And then I have done
Maybe that color?
so many world quests, mythic plus dungeons, trying to catch up on artifact power, doing whatever I can to try to play catch up. Now
Trying to get
that
the
I've been
legendary.
gone for like 3 months. I got a legendary actually on the unspeakable class. And
How dare you get a legendary? You abandoned WoW and abandoned for madness, and Blizzard's just like,
It's
here,
not
let's give you a legendary.
I always
done,
said
like,
there was a. I always said there was a weird
40
mathematical WoW equation where you really can't break it down, but like karma and luckiness comes into play. So he did come back. It's so happy to have him back, and it just kind of gave him more reasons to play that
I
class.
It's
feel
not on the
secondary
tune that I
combat.
wanted to play the most this expansion though, so if I would have got it on that, then I would have been set on a
That's
main.
so
But
sad.
yeah, I mean, other
At
than
least you
that,
have
it's,
one. So kudos to you.
yeah.
I'm
It's,
not giving him
It's
kudos
fun.
for shit. He didn't even have to work for it. It just got handed to him. The WoW
got
gods.
what?
The WoW
You got,
gods
like,
just
40
opened
minutes?
the ceiling to heaven and was like, here,
I've-
let's give you this.
I've
I'm
done
being a
like
hater, guys.
40 mythic plus dungeons.
I'm being a hater.
Slept in a week.
So-
Look at him with
I-
4.
Oh.
He's
Damn.
exhausted and he wants to eat his, freaking
bed's in the
lettuce
same
wrap.
position for 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
Jimmo, what did you do this weekend, WoW?
Yeah, a lot of PvP. You got some arena in, getting a little higher PvP level-wise. Like I said at the start of the show, I really am feeling... I always enjoyed the monk anyway, but I'm really feeling like it's my main. None of this flip-flop, and I don't know. I've been saying it for a while, but it's so fun to heal on the monk. And then we leveled up some pets, more artifact power, got some videos out for the channel. So I had a pretty good week in WoW. And yeah, it's good. Fun times.
Sauce, what'd you do?
Sweet. So since I was sick on Tuesday, I was like, hey, let's work on your archaeology. So
Because that's what you do when you don't feel good. You just click.
Just click stuff. I have a bunch of mats for cooking, so that's a plus. So before, like with the fossil raptor mount, you just kind of keep doing it and it would magically appear, right? So my dumbass was like, hey, I'm gonna get me the moose mount. Doesn't work that way. That was 5 hours. My ass could have been sleeping and on a lot of NyQuil. And I did research, and no, it's like Blizzard's like, hey guys, here's the moose mount quest. Yeah.
It's just a quest that gives you?
Yes, I was pissed. Then I went to bed.
You got it now?
No.
Oh.
So that's why you have to wait for them to. It's a weekly quest now. So last week was the new spear, the BOA spear that they gave out. So yeah, I'm an idiot
Awesome.
for 5 hours.
It's better than...
I got a lot of Pristina artifacts and stuff like that. So I guess some more achievements that I don't really care about. But yeah, good stuff.
At least you played, which is good.
Yeah.
I am...
What did you do, Belle?
I'm like halfway
What'd you
through to Exalted.
With Suramar?
In Suramar. I got my bank out of that the withered training. Shout out to Aja for helping explain it to me in a manner to which I understood, because I didn't understand any of the freaking guides. It just wasn't clicking to me, and she totally broke it down, and I was more successful.
Broke down with a crayon?
Yeah, now I was more successful, and I got more chests, more of the big chests that you get to unlock when you're done with that. So you get the banker for Sha-na-na-na-na-na, which is not what it's called, but it's Shalaran. I can never say it when I need to say it, so I call it Sha-na-na-na-na. But you can actually unlock a bank in there, which is nice, because I spend
Suramar?
the bulk of my time in Suramar anyway, so it's nice that I unlocked my bank in there. It
That's
dropped
really cool.
from the chest. So, that's
nice.
also where you get the fox mount. You farm it from the training, the withered, and
Oh,
it's a possibility of getting it out of one of the boxes. So,
That's neat.
definitely.
Well, I won't have that
till
till next year, so whatever.
And
got
you
a
get
toy
rep.
from that.
You get rep for increased. You get the regular rep for completing it. Then you also get the. I think you could do it every 3 days. It pops up as a world quest every 3 days. But is it 2? Mine. There was 2 days where there was nothing, so I don't know.
It might have just been the time that you completed it, and
No.
it felt like 3 days.
Well, there you get the rep, plus you get bonus rep tokens inside your chest. So
Sweet.
it's pretty nice.
Those are capped though, unfortunately. You
Yeah,
can only get up to
the
425 of them.
trick to being able to get more chests is to do the max amount. You want to go in with 20 withered, because your big chest costs 10 withered. It takes those withered to teleport up to what's her name, who's up at the top of where you're at. So you want to do it with your 20 withered and make sure that you're doing it appropriately. But I should probably do a guide video on that. Pretty sure that'll.
I'm sure you will.
That'd be pretty cool.
Be a thing somewhere when I finish these dang add-ons. But
2 weeks from now.
and then I've
Suramar.
been doing my add-on research in game. You guys know I like to test
Mm-hmm.
stuff, so I have all the add-ons broke out into segments, and I actually started building out my guide to post with the videos.
Nice.
So that's what I've been
Good
doing.
stuff.
A healthy mix
Awesome.
of gaming and doing all the things.
And work stuff.
Work stuff. So, and DitchCon prep, guys. DitchCon.
Oh, man.
It's so 30 days away. DitchCon is going to be live, and I'm terrified. But I'm excited.
Yeah, it's all. I'm sure it is
Well,
terrifying.
because I keep
like,
having
who's-
this recurring dream that we throw this massive party and nobody shows up. It's just us.
That's weird. I'm there in underwear,
That's cool.
tighty whities.
Hey,
and I can't
we'll have
pull my shirt down.
a premiere show.
Well,
like,
my husband said, okay, if that's the worst case, you have a big, beautiful ballroom with a DJ.
Oh, yeah,
What's
we're
so
turned
wrong
up.
with just you and your
Right,
friends?
exactly.
Okay, that totally makes
Dark
me feel
native.
better. I know, for the win,
Thanks,
right?
Dark.
Sometimes he's
He knows
a smart
what's up.
man. But, yeah,
It's because he's a great dancer.
he really is.
He looks like he would
No,
be.
he's
Yeah,
really
actually
good.
is.
He
He
can
is.
breakdance. He's really good.
I picture him more of like a class, like a
and
wall.
drop it.
No, he literally
he-
is a really good
Yeah.
breakdancer. That's actually one of the reasons I fell in love with him. He had the moves.
He used to be a really
Oh, did he teach Hots the moves? Is that
Same,
why Hots was
actually.
I don't-
breakdancing?
I don't know if they ever actually like swapped moves.
No.
Right.
But
That's something I was practicing when I was like 14 on my kitchen floor.
that's something
And I
that
just
beer
brought
helped
it.
him attain at BlizzCon, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
Yeah, actually, it was.
sure. Plus 10 breakdancing after 4 beers. Yeah.
There you
If
go.
you're
It was more
going-
like
What?
it was like I think it was like more like chug 2 beers and
Yeah.
half a flask.
I think we had a particularly amazing episode. We did miss the Lycanator, but I think we had a really great episode
But I hope he's
today.
feeling better, and
I
that's
hope
what matters
so.
the most.
I hope so.
Diarrhea doesn't last that long. He'll
No,
feel
and
better.
it's only supposed to burn when you poop sometimes, so I think he'll be just fine. He just needs to wipe a lot. Now that we made
Sure.
that sufficiently awkward, if you guys have any questions, as usual, feel free to comment. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. If you're an audio-only listener, no matter what avenue you listen on, I'm going to start trying to plug the PWNCAST.tv site to get you guys to comment on the episodes there. Because I'd like to start,
Good
I
go.
want to get more interaction and banter going with the audio guys. So the YouTube's doing really well. We get tons of comments. So PWNCAST.tv for all of your cast things. I need to put the cast bios up there. I'm a really bad web developer because I haven't done that yet, but I'll do that this week. So make sure you guys bookmark PWNCAST.tv and show us some love. But
Yeah.
if you're going to be in the Anaheim area on Wednesday, November 2nd in the evening time, stop by the Hilton and come to the DitchCon party. All the information you need is at ditchcon.com. Wanted to plug that for people that might not be attending BlizzCon, but maybe you live in California and you want to travel. We'd love to see you. So
Chili Kelly.
Oh yeah.
come
for sure.
see us. But we are going to go ahead and get on out of
Skedaddle.
here. We have things to do, people to see. I have a guide to create.
Yes, you do.
And it's past Hots' bedtime because, you know, he's the youngest on the show. So...
Thanks a lot, Hot.
Welcome.
So we're going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Thank you so much for allowing us to entertain you every week for an hour and a half. It is an honor and a pleasure that you let us, filthy casuals, fill your eardrums and tickle your senses, maybe? I didn't really plan on saying that, so I'm thinking I'm going to go
I think
with
that went out. That
Yeah,
came out
that's
well.
fine.
tickling your senses. Now I just made it weird. We're going to go ahead and get on out of
Yes,
here,
you did.
guys. Bye.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's
Dropping
hot.
anything like it's hot.
When it's
What is
episode
that? What does he
128,
say in
drop
that
it like
movie?
it's hot.
Drop it like it
What
has a
movie?
high temperature. What
Yeah.
does he say?
Yeah, drop it like it's a high temperature.
Have you watched that
Yeah, you
before,
just-
Jim? I think you would
No.
like it. No?
We got a new
I just
video,
watched
to movie to watch.
So, Hots, how did it feel?
Felt normal. Didn't feel like I really missed anything. I talked a
Yeah,
lot.
it did. No, I don't think they, like, overall you didn't. I felt like it was a healthy blend.
I agree.
Like it was natural, you know, it didn't feel
I didn't
forced.
have my own segment, so I jumped in everyone else's.
I saw that.
But sometimes